Hi, and welcome back to Wisdom from the Angels. Hi, my name is Carolyn. I am an angel guide. I channel messages from the angelic realm. I am also an intuitive, empathic energy healer. So I do angel card readings, and in this forum, I'm reading for the collective or for the group of our family. Um, Normally, when I'm doing a one-on-one angel card reading, which can be 30 minutes or 60, it is much more in depth. We answer your questions, we get clarity, you gain guidance on an issue or issues that are going on in your life. And I take as many questions as you are needing answers for. Okay? Sorry, they're talking to me as I'm speaking, so I'm trying to not only follow my own voice but listen to them as well. I also do healing sessions, and I do remote healing sessions, which are powerful and can go deep. And we can do them in one of two ways. We can do them with you on the phone, and you can talk to me and tell me what's going on. We do the session, and we really get in there and release any triggers or blockages of energy that are occurring, or mindsets or limiting beliefs that might be from this lifetime or past lifetimes, so that you can start to really wake up and enjoy your life. Those are 90 minutes. I also offer, once you've been established, 60-minute sessions. And clients tell me that things are really starting to show up in their lives. I've cleared a client last week, and she said all of a sudden, like, her psychic abilities just really went up. And she was so excited about everything that was coming in and really was enjoying the experience. I've had other people tell me that where they once weren't able to use use a limb like their feet, where it might have been an injury in the past, they were starting to feel relief. So even though we're not working on you in person, remote sessions are just as, if not more powerful. Okay? So if you're interested in that, all the information is on my website. I also talk on my website about what a distance healing is. Distance healing is the same as remote. It just means that the client isn't in front of me. The other way that we can do it is you send me an email telling me that you have something going on, but you're not able to be on the call to get the session. So then I send you a list of questions and have you fill that out if you're not in a place where we can speak. And then I go ahead and I schedule the session. Now, you can be running around doing whatever you want to do. The soul will take in the energy when it is intended to. Or you can be lying down wherever you are. I work with clients around the world, okay? And sessions last 90 minutes. And I give clients that extra time so that if we do get into a situation where there is blocked energy, which is no fault of your own, I can take the time to really do it without having to keep my eye on the clock. And believe me, you get the full 90 minutes, and in some cases, even more time, because I work on my clients until they are feeling an optimum condition for that particular session. Okay? So, welcome, as I said today, for your reading for Wisdom from the Angels. My videos are not time-stamped because I believe that whatever the title is meant for you to hear in that moment. Okay? Now, you may see me at times look off in the distance, or you may see me look in other places, and that's because the angels are speaking to me. It could also be my guides, it could be your guides, it could be my ancestors or yours. And I bring through all of that information and bring it into a reading. And when we're doing one-on-ones and they're very personal, sometimes you might have wondered if someone is with you or someone is standing next to you, and they may show up in our sessions. So if you're interested, look at the information below. If you're new, welcome, welcome. Please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up at the end of the reading if you like it. Share it with someone who could really use a message or some support. And don't forget to hit the bell so that you can get email notifications of new videos when they are put out. Okay? All right, so let's get started. Okay? Let me call in the angels, the guides. I showed you yesterday my bowl. Okay. Angels, spirits, guides, ancestors, beings from all galactic planets, time and space. Buddha, Jesus, Mother Mary, Cerebus Bay, Kuan Yin, Isis, Poseidon, come into this reading and provide guidance and provide answers and clarity around the energy that is coming up in the collective. We thank you so much for all that you do, for all that we are, and for all of the wonderful miracles that show up in our life. Thank you, 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 thank you. All right, so let's get started. Today we are working with 3 decks. We're going to be working with Angel Answers, and we're going, upside down, sorry. Angel Answers. We're going to be working with Whispers of Healing, and we're going to be working with Angels, Gods, and Goddesses again. And today I'm going to read those books when we have some cards that show up from those decks, so that we can really get into an understanding, a deeper understanding. Now, you may have your own understanding of the decks. I know that my interpretations that come through come from the angelic realm, and they give me guidance. But we can also go through and see exactly what the creator of the deck intended for this particular day. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. I've shuffled all the decks pretty well. And it told me to start with Angels Answers and get some answers from the angels directly. Angels, give me some answers. Take that one. Angels, answers. Angels, provide answers. One more. Angels, provide answers. Angels, provide answers. And it came flying out. Okay. Alrighty. And they're saying to read these first. Okay. So let's take the other 2 and set them over to the side. And if you have any of these decks, please go pull them out. And let's get into what the answer is. I do not need my glasses today because the writing on this is large. So it says the situation will improve. So whatever you're going through, whatever you're feeling that can feel overwhelming, things are going to get better. Just remember, this too shall pass. Whatever it is, it's temporary. And this one says perfect timing. All right, let me go through the other cards, and then we'll come back and do a storyline to just kind of see what the angels are saying to us today. Whatever it is that you really want to get working on, maybe a new project, it's saying a year from now. And this one says, failure is unlikely. That's what they're telling me. They're saying, tell them failure is unlikely. And for us to trust. Okay? So what the angels are saying here, there may be a situation that has been going on in your life. And you've wondered, is it going to get better than this? It could be a job. It could be a relationship. It could be a love relationship. It could be family. And it's saying, you know what? Everything is in perfect timing. Because remember, everything happens in divine time. Not our time, but in divine time. And while we may want something to hurry up and shift and work out, and maybe work out in a way that we feel is the best way, at that time it may not be the best way for everyone involved. Okay? And it's saying that things will be resolved within the next year. And maybe a year from now, go back and look at where you are today and start to take those baby steps that you need to take. Now, if it's in the area of finding a new job, maybe you need to take new skills. Maybe you need to do some more training. Maybe you need to really hone in on what it is. What type of job do you truly desire? Do you desire one that is going to get you up and out of bed in the morning that you're happy to go to? Or do you want one that is just, oh, I guess I could do better, but I'll accept this? You know what? The angels want you to live a full life. They really want you to live heaven here on earth. And in order to do that, you have to get in alignment with your assignment. Okay? That was my mantra for last year, for 2019. I am in alignment with my assignment. And I was. And the more you say that, the more the energy will shift. The more the energy will get in alignment with your assignment. Okay? And it's saying that it's unlikely that you are going to fail. Failure is what? Another opportunity that showed up for you to grow. It means that whatever you were working on might need to be tweaked. It might need to be thrown away and start all over again. But I guarantee you that even in doing that, something really wonderful can be born. And they're also saying to trust. Trust in the universe. Trust that everything will work out just the way it's supposed to. Trust that everything that's working out is for your highest good. Now you may say, but it hurts. Okay, then step back and look and ask the angels for help. And how do we do that? Hands over our hearts. Close your eyes. Deep breaths. Take 4 deep breaths. You can even practice it by saying your name and saying, I love you, to yourself. Because that's the most important person for you to love. Okay? And ask the angels. Go ahead. I dare you to ask them for what you want. And really, truly desire for that to show up. You know? You can also ask the angels for a sign. Talk to them like you talk to your best friend, because they are. They are with you each and every day. They surround you, guide you, and protect you every single day. And when you give them permission to show up in your life, they will. Notice things may start to fall apart at first, or appear to be falling apart, so that they can be put back together in a better way. Everything that falls apart isn't necessarily bad. It could be. It isn't meant for you. So someone said to me the other day, they said, I've been in a relationship for 8 years. And sometimes I'm happy, but a lot of the times I'm not. I'm compromising. And I realize I'm giving into manipulation. And when I realized that I was doing that because I just don't like how I'm being told what to do, I realized that it was time for me to leave this relationship. But I love them. But I'm not happy. So I asked them, can they step back for a moment? What is their greatest fear? When things aren't working out, what is your greatest fear? And if it's in a love relationship, is your greatest fear that that person won't love you back? Is the greatest fear that that person is going to leave you? Is the greatest fear that that person has cheated on you? Be clear. And I just did a taping this morning on the power of love with Coach Kelvin over on Position for Success. And what we talked about is be clear about what you're asking for. What are your expectations of love? What is the questions that you really want to ask, but you're afraid of the answers? And ask the question in an empowering way, not in the middle of an argument. Ask the question, you know what? What does love mean to you? See if their definition is the same as yours, or if their definition of what love is even something that you can accept. Because I promise you, a lot of people don't even know what they want in a relationship other than, I want her, I want him. Okay, why? Why? And is it really love? There's a difference between friend love, there's a difference between lust, there's a difference between true love, which is authentic love. Those are all very different types of love. So be clear about what you want. They're also saying, let's get a message from Whispers of Healing, which is the other deck that I'm using today. I used this yesterday, which is interesting because they wanted the same decks used in the same week, back to back. So we have two cards here. The first one that comes out is the number 2, compassion. Compassion for oneself is probably one of the best things you can do. The card number 9 is triggers. See what's triggering you, because whatever's coming up that's triggering you is trying to get your attention. It's trying to get your attention so that you stop and say, hey, wait a minute. Let me explore this a little bit more with yourself. When you start exploring it with whomever you're having the conflict with, that language can get a little mixed up. And they may say something that they know you want to hear versus how they're really feeling about it. And those are two different things. Okay? I did say to you that I was going to read the meaning from the book. So we're going to go to Whispers of Healing. Where's the book? See? Whispers of Healing. And we're going to go to number 2. So that would be compassion. It says, during a healing challenge, it might seem counterintuitive to have compassion for someone who hurt you in the past. However, forgiveness is a vital step in your healing process. Decide to let go of resentment. Feelings of hurts and suffering, being the victim or wanting revenge, are low in vibration and prevent you from making progress. Forgiveness carries a high vibration. Forgiving someone in your past will bring healing to you. You don't need to communicate an apology. Forgiveness is something you do within yourself. Once you decide to forgive, it can lead to feelings of tolerance, sympathy, and consideration for the person who hurt you. This card might be prompting you to consider any pain or hurt you may have caused others too. Ponder the times when others have forgiven you. Forgiveness is a process. You may need to reflect on small offenses more than once, the bigger ones even more so. And it's asking us to look at the card artwork. And it's saying that it is connecting the rabbit and the sparrow. And the person's vision roots may signify the need to ground yourself. The rabbit signifies the beginning as well as working out social differences. The orange and yellow hues may relate to the sacral and solar chakras. The color green represents the heart chakra, where the major healing will occur in this situation. Reflect on how this card affects you. When you think of forgiveness, is there a specific thing or someone that comes to mind? Where would the healing that comes from forgiveness be a benefit to you? So we talked about forgiveness last week, and we talked about forgiveness from the standpoint of not only is it a gift for yourself, and I know that sounds very cliche, but what I used to do when I worked with clients in person is I would say to them, I'd have a pile of rocks on the table and I'd have a backpack or a bag. And I'd say, okay, for every emotion that you feel, put a rock into the bag. Well, and the client would say, well, I'm feeling resentment, put a rock in. I'm feeling betrayal, put a rock in. I'm feeling heartache, put a rock in. I'm feeling distrust, put a rock in. I'm feeling fear. And on and on and on. And when they got to the end of their emotions list, I'd say, okay, now pick up the bag. And they'd say, this thing is heavy. Well, imagine that's what you're carrying around with you energetically every single day. It's time to let it go. It's time to put that burden down. It's time to really ask the angels for help. Now, how do we do that? We put our hands over our hearts. And we ask the angels to come in. We take 4 deep breaths, remember? And we then ask the angels. And we say, angels, I give you permission to. And fill in the blank. Angel. So in this case with forgiveness, Angels, I give you permission to come into my life and show me how to be more forgiving. Show me how to, and then go forward with that. At the end, after working with the angels, always say thank you. Always say thank you. Because that signals to them your gratitude of them showing up in your life and that you do consider it to be a blessing, and it is. Okay, the next card was card number 9, triggers. And this card says, the occurrences or circumstances in your life may affect you on a deep level and be stored in your memory as wounds or triggers. Your ego can become defensive due to the emotional wounds you carry it with you. Once a wrongdoing has happened in your life, it cannot be undone. But you can choose how to handle the outcome. There is no single situation you cannot overcome. You can detach from the triggers, but you must have the will and desire to do so. Authentic healing means accepting past trauma, sadness, depression, and disappointments. From here, you can choose to accept responsibility for your emotions and your triggers. When you neutralize the stories from the past, they lose their grip on your present happiness. Holding on to pain limits your ability to live life to the fullest. It is time to disconnect the switch and stop allowing the past to control your current actions. Let me just say this. You are not your past. You are not any mistake or misstep you've ever done in the past. That is not who you are. That does not define you. Anyone who continues to bring up your mistakes from the past, or who wants to hold you hostage, or who wants to hold judgment over you, they are not someone you need in your life. Because anyone who truly loves you will forgive you. It may take them a while to get over it, and that's okay. But forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. Because what you're saying is, I love myself enough to not to want to continue hurting myself by carrying this burden, by carrying revenge, resentment, and all the emotions and energy that go along with it. We have to get clear about what we're willing to let go of. Now, give you a good example. Someone said to me the other day, I really love him. I really love him. And every time I want to trust him, listen to the sentence, want to trust him, he goes out and he cheats again. Okay? So my question to them was, do you trust yourself? Well, I want to trust him. No, do you trust yourself? Because if we're trusting ourselves, we trust ourselves enough to know we do not wish to get hurt again. But can you trust yourself enough to forgive that person? Now, that doesn't mean you want them back in your life, but can you trust them enough to forgive them and open the door for yourself to have the opportunity to heal? Because you cannot heal, you cannot begin to heal until you can forgive yourself and forgive the other person. That way, compassion can come in, the healing can start, and we can really begin to notice the situation begins to improve. Now you may say, well, what do I have to forgive? Anything that causes you any kind of angst, hurt, pain, resentment, anything that upsets you, forgive it. Forgive it, and really lighten up a little. Sometimes we just need to lighten up and stop taking life so doggone seriously. Listen, we ain't here that long. We really aren't. It may seem like a long time, but in the scope of things, remember, one day is 24 hours. And sometimes you go, wow, where did the time go? That's really what's happening. We just started this year in January. Here we are, almost, it's August. It'll be August in a few days. Come on now. Angels want you to have a life of beauty and wonder and love and magic and just everything that your heart truly desires here while you're here on this earth at this time. Time is passing by and you cannot get that back. You cannot get that back. If you don't believe me, look at a baby. A baby at 1 month old is very different than a baby looks at 1 year old. And that baby is very different looking at 18 years old. You do not get that time back. Value that time. Value yourself enough to say, I am going to be compassionate with myself, especially when I'm triggered, so that the situation can improve. And I accept that everything happens in perfect timing. And I know that a year from now, it will look a lot different. And it's unlikely I'm going to fail. It is very unlikely that I'm going to fail, because I am trusting in the universe to make it right. Okay? That is the message for today. Thank you for joining Wisdom from the Angels. Everything you need to know about me is in the box below. Come on back for another reading on tomorrow. And I hope that today is absolutely the most wonderful day that you could ever imagine it to be. All right? So come on back. Wisdom from the Angels. We'll be here waiting for you. Thumbs up.